today's woo wisdom goes out to all of the new doctors out there. And this is what I would call a clinical pearl. Today I had a new patient come in, and I remember talking to this new patient because he asked a lot of questions on the phone, and one of the things that I explained to him was, please bring all of the necessary medical documentation, including any type of imaging that might be going on with your knee. And this person has been dealing with this knee problem for quite some time. And he had seen several doctors over the course of the last couple of months. And when I met him today, he had thought that he had sent me the emails, except my front desk never got it. I never personally got it. And when he looked on his iPhone, he had never sent it. But I did an evaluation, and everything hurt, and I didn't know what was going on because I didn't have any imaging, and I didn't want to say something that could be misconstrued into something else. So I just told him, I don't know what's going on with your knee. And he had multiple other variables that were going on. Mainly, he had elective surgical procedure, and it had gone infected, and he had now been on his third round of antibiotics, and it's still has not gotten any better. And the first and foremost thing that I was most worried about was he most likely has a staph infection, and it needs to be taken care of first and foremost, because that's creating a ton of inflammation in the entire body. The body's trying to fight this infection. It's getting close to being a situation where hopefully it doesn't turn into MRSA, but if the antibiotics aren't working, it's a strong infection. So that was something where I needed to bring that to his attention, that yes, I know your knee is killing you, but this infection needs to be dealt with first. And, this is another clinical pearl. It's okay to refer to other doctors that don't include your scope, because infections aren't included in my scope. I know when I see an infection, and I know when I think it's really bad, and I also know to say, you need to immediately go to a medical doctor and get this thing sorted out. And then the second thing that I needed sorted out today was I needed him to get imaging into that knee. Radiographs can only tell you so much about what is going on in a particular joint. And radiographs are really good at understanding what is going on with the actual bone, but it's not really good at telling me what's going on with the soft tissue. So in the knee particularly, if you ever go to a doctor and they say, yeah, I can see your ACL in your radiograph or in your x-ray, they are lying to you, because you can't see very good soft tissue in radiographs. And we live in this amazing technological time where you can get an MRI and you can very clearly see what is going on with the ACL. You can very clearly see what's going on with the PCL or the MCL or the LCL, all the ligaments and tendons that are going on in that knee. And to really get a full picture of what is actually going on in that patient's particular hotspot, an MRI is going to be the gold standard. Now, there's a whole other thing of like what you see in imaging and what is actually being presented to you at that time. That we can talk about that another time. But for this particular case, I wasn't going to tell him what was going on with his knee because I really didn't know what was going on with his knee. And the whole point of this of this woo wisdom is sometimes you don't know, and it's okay to say you don't fucking know. And it's also okay to say, I don't know what's going on with your knee, but the next time you come in, I promise you, if you give me the imaging, we can go over it with the together, and I can explain to you what is succinctly going on with your knee. But don't just go out there and guess. Don't tell them something that you don't know, or don't bullshit your way through it, because one, that's just bad information, and two, at some point they might get a second opinion or a third opinion, and they'll find out that you were just kind of bullshitting them, and then that doesn't bode well for you either. So I'm just telling these young doctors right now that it's okay to say I don't know, because you don't know. That's the truth. And it's okay to learn as much as you can in the time between when you see that patient and at the original time, and when you are going to see them on the back end when they do come back, to have an explanation. That was my woo wisdom. Hopefully that helps. Grind another day, brothers.